So with these adjustments, the strategy now made more than 400% in the last years. Of course, this is also highly dependent on the settings, but we can see the backtesting results can turn out to be very, very good, very, very profitable. Yeah, if you want to learn about the changes I made and how you can create this strategy, just watch the video and also make sure to do your own test in the end. Let's go. So yeah, the Nick Shawn algo is something that a lot of you guys found interesting. And for this reason, I decided to make another video, because in the previous 3 videos, I created this expert advisor, everything is fine, but I made some mistakes in the code as pointed out by some viewers. So thanks for this. So I decided to fix it in this video because it can really have a huge impact on the overall performance. Also, there were a lot of commentators saying that I did not copy Nick Shawn's strategy 100% accurate. And this is true, but this is also very hard because he is, I think, also doing a lot of subjective analysis of the market to find support and resistance zones, which is not easy to integrate into an expert advisor because expert advisors cannot really do this kind of stuff. At least not if you don't tell them exactly how the rules for this look like. But I think I find a solution or just an example to show you. And I will use an an indicator to find or to try to find support and resistance or relevant levels. So let's first of all fix the bugs in the existing code. So here in the code, we can see this is just like the same code. You can take it from the previous 3 tutorials. So if we go all the way down to here, we can see for the open back calculation, this variable, I hard-coded 30, but it should be days back, of course. So if you change the inputs for the days back variable, it is also transferred to the expert advisor and it will change the outcome. And the second point is the probably a lot more important point. Here, when opening the martingale positions, for buy positions, I did the correct calculation and I exchanged the variable here for the buy function. But for the sell function, I did not exchange this lots variable. And you can see it here. This is lots with a capital L in the beginning, which is the one from the inputs list. Instead, I want to use this variable here, which is the local variable, and it is the calculated variable. So we do have the increased lot size also for sell trades now. And this should already make a really important difference here because the martingale component is so important in the program as I interpreted the strategy here. So this will really make a difference. And while this test is loading, let me lose a few words on why I do these coding tutorials and what my purpose with this is. So I am not trying to copy Nick Shawn's strategy like 100% accurate. And as I said before, this is very hard and in my opinion not really possible because there's a lot of subjective interpretation applied on the market. And in the end, it's not really, you cannot really copy something that does not follow a fixed set of rules. And he does not have this fixed set of rules, as at least not from what I saw in these videos that he outputs. And my purpose with these videos is more to teach you how to code these kind of things, but not like the 100% copy of someone's strategy online. I want to give you all of the keys or the tools that you need to really write your own programs in the end, because I think this should be the main goal. By just copying some internet guru or by just copying anyone really, it will most likely not make you achieve your goals. But here you can see the outcome now is really different since I changed this martingale component. And 2 things happened. Yes, the count was crashed quickly, and it is a drawdown that brought the account to 0. But also we can see before this happened, we were able to double the account with these new settings. And this is, by the way, exactly what Shawn is also talking about. He is saying that the goal of his strategy is to double more accounts than crash accounts. And this is in fact a valid logic, because if you double more accounts than you crash accounts, you are by definition profitable. So yeah, so this will really make a huge difference in your testing process, and I will do 1 or 2 more tests in this video, I think. But before we do this, I want to teach you one more thing, how, and this is just one approach to really implement this support and resistance or relevant level trading concept. So what you can see is that in the chart, you usually have periods where the mark moves, like here it moves up, it moves down, it moves up, down. And before or in between of these periods, you have these sections where the market is at one level, or it is turning around. And if we use a simple indicator like the ATR indicator, and by the way, you can find it, let me delete this, you can find it in your navigator. If you go to indicators, examples, and then just choose ATR. This is a very simple and well-known indicator, but what you can see is that whenever there is such a turnaround period or a plateau where the price stays for a while, we usually see that the ATR is coming down. And this is something, of course, this indication is not perfect, because as any indicator, also the ATR lags, and it can also only mirror the performance in the past. But this is one possible idea of how to do this. Like, what my idea was is that we really have a look at the ATR, and when the ATR comes down, like here, we then want to open positions, and we do not want to open positions if the ATR is not coming down. So how can we do this? Like, we can say, for example, first of all, we create another input here, which we can say ATR periods, and then we can say, let's say, for example, 14, and we say enum time frames, ATR time frame also, which would be period H1, for example, and then we will use these settings for the ATR to figure out if it is going down. Also, to figure out if it is going down, I want to implement a ATR decline period, which could be like 5 bars, for example. So if the last 5 bars are going down or the ATR is decreasing, then we want to open the position. So how do we work with this ATR now? Because we have a bunch of different symbols that we can use here. So we will need a bunch of indicator handles. And the easiest way is to use our already existing C symbol class. And this actually makes it super, super easy, because instead of just using the symbol variable and the serial long tickets variable, we will just add one more variable, which is the handle ATR. So every symbol that we now use will also have the handle for the ATR for this specific symbol. And now the last thing we have to do is, when we create all of these symbols here, we just need to say symbol handle ATR is equal to I ATR, because this is a standard indicator. And then we just use the symbol here. We can say symbol, something like this, because the symbol already has the symbol variable filled, because we use this constructor. And then we can say period should be ATR time frame, and MA period should be ATR periods. And that's pretty much it. So now every symbol object variable has the symbol here. Also, someone mentioned before that it is good programming. It's a good programming habit that if you use a constructor, you can also use a, I think it's destructor. And this is what you can do. Wait, I think it needs the body. So this is how you can implement a destructor by using this. I don't know what this sign is even called, but yeah, if you use this and then write the name of the class, you can implement a destructor. And like the constructor is called immediately when the variable, the object, is initialized, and the destructor is called when it's deinitialized. Here you could do some housekeeping stuff like freeing some space in the memory or deleting some variables. I think it's not necessary in our program because the MetaTrader also does a lot of this stuff automatically. But yeah, I just wanted to leave it here to make this a little bit more complete. Okay, so what do we do now with our handle here? Now, since we have the handle for the ATR for all of our symbols, we can use it. So down here, before we open multiple positions, oh wait, do we do this always? I mean, we could also do this always. So just before we do anything, at the beginning of our for loop here, where we loop through all of the positions, we want to calculate the ATR for the last X bars actually, ATR decline period. Don't know if we can use this variable here. Yeah, no, we cannot use it here. I think it does not allow the usage of input variables. Yeah, but what we can do is we can just do it like this, and then for the copy buffer function we can use it. So we will use symbol. So we will just use the handle for the ATR for this specific symbol. Then we go with the buffer number main line because there is only one line. The starting position will be, I would say, 1. The count will be ATR decline period, and we store everything in this ATR array. So now, since we have it stored in the array, we want to check if there's a signal of ATR signal. So we check, we create a Boolean variable, is ATR signal, for example. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So we call we call this is ATR signal because here we want to check if the ATR is declining. And we can easily check this by checking if ATR at position, I think now we can use this, -1, if this is smaller than ATR at index 0. So yeah, this is fine. And now whenever we open a position, we want to check first if the ATR is declining. So here, before we check for any martingale position, we also check if is ATR signal. And also here, before we check for any first position, we want to check if is ATR signal. So let me compile this. Let me compile this and let's quickly start a manual test to see if everything's working. And then I want to do some more long-term backtest to figure out if I can really find settings that will double or triple or quadruple my account here multiple times. So let's go with the visual mode for a second to just figure out if the code is working. Yeah, let's just test the last few years for this reason. Okay, so we can see that the test now loaded, and we can see that we do not only load the daily charts here, but we also load hard to pronounce, load the 1 hour chart for all of the symbols that we trade here. And this is because of the ATR indicator that we can also see in all of these 1 hour charts. So if I speed up the test and if we wait for a signal, I will try to figure out if there was a valid ATR signal also. And there we do have it. Let's skip or let's search, for example, for one of these signals. We have Euro, New Zealand dollar, I think it is. And here we can see, here was the signal. So in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, yeah, the ATR was definitely going down. And now, before we find, let's move to Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Is this in the right order? No, it's not. So let's go Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So here we can see we do have 2 positions already open in this series. And we can see there is a at least 1% in between these 2 trades. Also, we can see, hopefully, that here the ATR in the last 5 bars is declining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think it's going down a bit. And then here we should also see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's very, sometimes it's not that significant, but we can see the ATR is always lower than 5 bars before when we open one of these martingale positions. And this is this could add more like stability. Like for example, have a look at this. Here we clearly saw another signal, but we did not open a position because of the ATR. And this is because there's a very dramatic move. And now if the market goes down for 5 bars, which will happen, I think, with the next bar. Okay, no, it does not. This is weird. So there's still some issue, I think, with my program. Okay. I think I figured out what the issue is. The thing is that I still have this piece of code where we only check once per daily bar if we need to open another position, which is, of course, not really perfect. Instead, we might want to change this and say that here we use the ATR time frame instead of the daily bar. And if we do it like this, and let me test this again, then we should see that it's working a lot better. So the test just loaded. Let me fast forward so we can see the first series of trades here. Here we can see Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Yeah, let's just stick with this example. If I can find it, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So yeah, now you can see here, this is working better now, I think. We see that, okay, it's going down 1%, and I think we had the signal here already because it was going down with the ATR. So yeah, but here, now we can see there's this dramatic decrease in the price here of the symbol, and we do not open a position because the ATR is not going down. But as soon as it is going down for a few bars, here we then see that, and this is also the part in the chart where the market is going a little bit sideways. So this logic seems to help, and yeah, then we see the martingale position. And then, yeah, we wait for the next signal. But yeah, you can see these small changes can really make a huge difference. Also, I just realized that I think sell positions, do they get the increased lot size? Let me check this feature also. I think we have to wait for more than 5 positions first in one symbol, right? Because otherwise I did not implement the martingale mechanism. Yeah, so far the account is doing very good. It's nearly doubled already. So you can definitely have good periods with this strategy. So let's check this here. 1, 2. Okay, it's only 2 in the same symbol. I'm looking for a very long drawdown period here to figure out if it increases the lot size correctly. And there is an increase for sell positions. So we do see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions with a normal lot size, and then it is increased for Australian dollar, Japanese yen. And now, yeah, we see more of these one lot big positions. And yeah, this is doing fine so far, I would say. We can see, of course, we still have the drawdowns and everything, which is completely normal, I would say, with a strategy like this. And here was already one very huge drawdown. I think this could have been a fatal event in a live account, but yeah. In the tester, it did not close the positions, and here it is very close to hitting the 100% profit, which is like really an important level if you trade a strategy like this, because if you hit the 100% in profit, this means that after hitting this milestone, you theoretically can blow your account because you could have taken out your initial deposit. So at this point, your strategy is profitable up to this point. But yeah, as I said, again, the main question with stuff like this is how often can you double? How often do you crash? But you can see small changes like this can really make a huge difference and can really make the strategy a lot better. And this is why it was important to me to also make this video, just to show you that I read all of your comments. I try to react to it, but again, please don't be too hard with me if I do not manage to copy someone's strategy 100% perfectly, because this is often not easy or not possible at all. But I'm just trying my best to really give you some ideas of how to approach this, how to implement strategies that you find online, or maybe strategies that you come up with yourself. So yeah, see here now we hit the 100% profit by balance and equity, and this is the point pretty much where the account now has the right to blow, because we made more than 100% and we could have taken out the initial deposit. So that's really how you have to view these strategies, but of course they are not risk-free by any means. This is a super high-risk program and you should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. So I will do 1 or 2 more backtests now in the end, and I will cut it in front of the whole video, I think, to show you what this looks like in the long term. But I don't want to show you like 10 different tests, because with a program that you can code, if you copy the last 4 videos, you can just do this yourself. Just get the data free with a quant data manager. I also made a video about this on my channel, or just use the normal broker data if you're fine with this, and then test the program yourself. Play around with the settings, and playing around with the settings will also make very different, or will create very different balance and equity curves. And I think it's very fun to play around with this. And here we can see a perfect example. Just with the normal settings, most of the time it would have been very, very effective. And this is the power of grid and martingale, because most of the time it is just an effective tool to generate a lot of profits. But again, never underestimate the risk. So let's wait together until this test is finished, and then that's it for this tutorial. So yeah, let me maybe once again show you the things that are changed in this one. So we added the handle for the ATR here. We added 3 more input variables for how the ATR looks and how our signal should be evaluated. Then we did not change anything here, but here I added this line, so just to add the handle for every single symbol with the correct symbol here and the inputs from the inputs list. Then in the on tick, I changed this part, so we don't check only once per daily bar, but instead by once per bar of the ATR time frame. This is important for the martingale signals. And then I changed, first of all, fixed this error that I made before. So here we have to use small letter L lots in the beginning and not capital letter lots. And then I also changed this here. I forgot this. We calculate the ATR. This is important to put this inside of this for loop here, because we want to do this for every single symbol. If you put it outside of this for loop, it will not make sense. So here we just calculate the ATR using the handle for the ATR from every single symbol that we are currently looking at. We store it in an ATR array that we then use to check if there's an ATR signal. My interpretation right now is that the ATR is declining. Your interpretation could be different. Just exchange this calculation here. You can also use different indicators. You can do whatever you want. That's great with programming, because you can quickly try out so many different things. But yeah, really make this program your own. But yeah, let's keep on with my interpretation. I used this is ATR signal variable then before I check for martingale positions to check if there is this ATR signal. And I also did this before checking for the first position. So there I only also checked for the is ATR signal. And then last thing I changed is this line where I added the days back variable instead of the hard-coded 30. And that's it. You can use this program to do your own test. My test here is complete, and we can see it would have been super profitable, at least in the last 4 years with these settings. There's close to a 200% profit, I think, which is a very, very, very good result. And this also results in a huge profit factor, of course, but do not be fooled by this profit factor, because this does not mean that this program is perfect or cannot destroy your account. It's just that my settings in this period would have worked very well. Also, if you want to have a more accurate test, you can use every tick based on real tick. But I think in this specific case, it's not so important, because we do not use a stop loss, we do not use stop orders at all, and it's not important that we really check every single tick, I believe. But yeah, make your own test. That's it. Hope you liked this last video of the series. I just wanted to get some things right, and yeah, just be fair for like Nick, Shawn, and also wanted to respond to your comments, because I read all of them and I always try to respond to them. Sometimes it's just hard to really have a good response for all of the comments, or to really make exactly what everyone wants, because there were so many comments. But yeah, hope you like to experiment, play around with this program. Let me know what you think about this series. Please leave a comment. Like, should I do more stuff like this? You can also suggest some strategies that I can test for you guys, like code and test. And yeah, I guess I will see you next time. Have a great time. Good trades. Bye-bye.